Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Ed, and as you can see right now, I have my browser up on the screen. And I just wanted to show you something really cool that Supernote is allowing people to do. With this new move to the plugin system, with this move to InkHub and all of this open source development that's going on, one thing that's really cool is this current push. Remarkable's had this thing for a while called Send to Remarkable, where you could be in your web browser and you could send anything from the web to your tablet and be able to work with that. Now, what I'm going to show you here is just how cool the Supernote version of this is. Now, it's brand new. It's only in Chrome. I will link the Reddit article below, but I want to go through and walk you through this real quick and show you what this is. So what you'll see here is right up here in this top corner, I already have this installed. And if I hover over it, you'll see it says send to Supernote. But I want to show you how I got it. So if I go here and I go down to extensions and I go to the Chrome store, and this is just me being a little bit not suspicious. I think the author did a wonderful job on this, but wanting to make sure that it was not me clicking on a link from Reddit, but going to the store. And that way you also don't have to find the actual web article. So right here, I go in and I can put send to Supernote. And if I hit search, there it is. And when I do that, it says it's installed, but I can actually click on it, read more about it. It tells me the overview. Once you install that and add it to Chrome, and I've pinned it here, so you'll see if I go in, I can do send to Supernote, I can do options, remove, unpin, I can manage the extension. The nice thing about the options is that if you have Supernote Private Cloud, you can use that here. The default folder is going to be your documents, which I find really useful because I know that's where it's going to be, and then I can categorize it from there. But you can send it to your notes, your inbox, exports, anything you want. Really cool. So you could change this to my style if you were doing some kind of template. But this is how I do it. So you can do full page view or you can do reader view. I prefer reader view. Just for my particular case, I like to strip out all the ads, all the images, and have that in there. And then you can pick between PDF and EPUB. Now, EPUB, as it says here, is best if you want to reflow that document. PDF has some advantages as well. So you might want to tinker with this depending on your setup and what you're actually doing. Now, I'm going to let this happen in real time so that you can see it. So it's currently capturing that page. So it's removing everything because I asked it to do all that processing. Sometimes this does take a little while for it to go ahead and do it, but there it's converting it. So it's building out the EPUB document to be able to have that. And then here in a minute, it'll tell me when it's done. So what it's doing in the background, just to be really clear, is it's converting this and it's sending it to my Supernote Cloud account, which then also syncs to my partner apps, which then also syncs to my devices. So it's doing all of that processing in the background. And it is dual authentication when you set it up. So it will ask you for a code, you have to sign in, but it doesn't keep any of that data. So please read the article and read the information about the extension. And depending on how complex the document is, and this is a long document, so it's taking it a while to do this, but I did want to show it in real time. If it's a short page or a short article, this is going to move much faster. The one I did earlier today took almost no time to have this particular thing happen, and it worked really well. So again, just be aware it's also a new extension, and there it is. Now it says sending 5 tips to the Supernote platform. And what I'm going to do while that's finishing, since it's saying it's sent, is I'm going to go ahead and open my Supernote partner app right here on the screen. And then I am going to go to documents. And then this is the one I did earlier today that says OMB proposals, rules established, political oversight for grants. So that's the one I did earlier today, and it came through really fast. And then here you're seeing right now it's syncing, it's working through, it's going to read everything from both my devices and the web. And here it is, 5 tips for assignment design in the agentic AI age, and it's an opinion piece. So if I click on that, what it's going to do here in a second is pull up that document. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and do this on device. I wanted to show it to you in Chrome and how it works. And I have Adobe Digital Editions installed here. So it actually kicked me out and opened it that way. And then it's going to give me the full article here. And you see there are 11 pages. So here we are on CNN. We will go ahead and go here and say send to Supernote. And when we do that, it's going to go ahead and start working in the background, and you will be able to see the notifications pop up telling you that this is going to do its thing. So there it says it's capturing the page. And then here in a minute, it's going to say it's formatting. There it is. It's saying it's converting it. So it's converting it to an EPUB. It's saying converting and building the document. It's saying it's uploading, sending, making its biggest changes to the year. And so now we should be able to go back here in just a minute. There it is. So it's saying that it's already there. We will go ahead and open that here on this. And there you go. All right. So as with anything else with a new service, sometimes when you're demoing it, it doesn't exactly look right. So I told you I wasn't going to show this on device, but then as I was trying to open it in the partner app, I realized what was going on. And what was going on was Adobe Digital Editions was having issues. So I don't know what the issue is there and why that wasn't working correctly. So I did go to the device because I did want you to see that the actual extension is working properly. It's doing everything it's supposed to do. So if I go out here, you're going to see these are the three that I've downloaded. OMB proposes new rules. Google is making biggest changes, and 5 tips for assignment design. So any of those I go into here on the device are going to come through perfectly formatted and full. So for example, you're going to see there are 6 pages here. It came through as an EPUB. I can go in, change my contrast settings, do anything I want to do here. I could have done it as full page so that I could have images in them if I wanted to do that. But I prefer to have the straight text. And again, if we go out and we'll go into Google. So Google's making changes to Google search. And again, what do I have here? And I actually pulled this one from CNN. So you'll notice that again, all of that content came right in. Really cool, really easy, really seamless. It seems like the sticking point is going to be the issue with Adobe Digital Editions. So I will do some more tinkering with it, but I wanted to get this out to you and let you see it because I think it's a really cool thing. It brings things like push to read that is a functionality of books and also things like the send to Remarkable and makes it a really seamless process. So it automatically syncs with your cloud, which is always on, and then flows down to your devices and your apps as necessary. So let's go ahead and jump back over real quick for a closing thought, and I will see you in a second. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging in there on that. Again, that demo got a little crazy, and I came to find out after I went off camera and looked at a few things that the issue was Adobe Digital Editions. It had nothing to do with the actual extension because it was pushing those perfectly fine to my devices. And what it wasn't doing was allowing, because of the fact that I'm opening it on my computer from the desktop app, it was trying to open it then in Adobe Digital Editions, which was for some reason playing havoc with the EPUB format. So remember, you can save it both as a PDF or an EPUB, and depending on your system requirements and what you have going on, the EPUB may be easier, but just be aware that there are still some bugs, but I don't think it's with the extension. I truly think it's with Adobe, because otherwise it wouldn't have looked perfectly fine on the device. That just wouldn't make any sense for it to be that way. So thank you again. This was a quick hit. Hopefully this was useful. I think this brings this on par with a lot of other really cool devices and functionalities out there regarding Remarkable and what books are doing with their push. But let me know what you think. Is this useful for you? Is this something that you would have wanted to use or that you will be able to use moving forward on this device? Now, it is limited to Chrome currently, but hopefully it'll come to other browsers and then that'll make that universal. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks so much for the support. And until next time, keep on moving forward and we will talk to you soon. Have a great one. Bye now.